The only freedom which deserves the name is that of pursuing our own good in our own way. One person with a belief is equal to a force of 99 who have only interests. The worth of a state, in the long run, is the worth of the individuals composing it. The individual is not accountable to society for his actions, insofar as these concern the interests of no person but himself. A person may cause evil to others not only by his actions, but by his inaction. I have learned to seek my happiness by limiting my desires, rather than in attempting to satisfy them. The greatest enemy of freedom is a happy slave. The only purpose for which power can be rightfully exercised over any member of a civilized community against his will is to prevent harm to others. The worth of a civilization can be judged by the way it treats its weakest members. Over himself, over his own body and mind, the individual is sovereign. The individual's freedom ends where another individual's freedom begins. Opinions, for the most part, are just as much a matter of caprice as of conviction. The despotism of custom is everywhere the standing hindrance to human advancement. Every great movement must experience 3 stages: ridicule, discussion, adoption. The tyranny of the majority is as formidable as the tyranny of one. The peculiar evil of silencing the expression of an opinion is that it is robbing the human race. The individual is not accountable to society for his actions insofar as these concern the interests of no person but himself. The strongest of all arguments against the interference of the public with purely personal conduct is that, when it does interfere, the odds are that it interferes wrongly and in the wrong place. To tax the larger incomes at a higher percentage than the smaller is to lay a tax on industry and economy, to impose a penalty on people for having worked harder and saved more than their neighbors. A person may cause evil to others not only by his actions but by his inaction. He who lets the world, or his own portion of it, choose his plan of life for him, has no need of any other faculty than the ape-like one of imitation. Conservatives are not necessarily stupid, but most stupid people are conservatives. The greatest threat to freedom is the absence of criticism. The individual himself has a vested interest in social freedom. There is always need of persons not only to discover new truths and point out errors, but to show men how to live. The liberty of the individual must be thus far limited. He must not make himself a nuisance to other people. The worth of a civilization can be judged by the way it treats its weakest members.